if you submit any document for, as a proof of fund, they are going to verify every single thing. Italian authorities are very strict with that. If you run with me, I gotta work for the both of us. Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing well. For this video, we're going to talk about how to show proof of fund for, your studies here in Italy. If you reach out to me concerning like your proof of funds, and because of that, I am making this video today for you guys. I want to ask, what is a proof of fund? A proof of fund is a document that shows that you have the financial capacity to support yourself during your studies abroad. I really want to be very detailed as much as possible in this video, so please spare me today. This video is going to be a bit lengthy, and stay till the end of this video. I have a very valuable information to share with you guys. So what is the breakdown of this video? I am going to talk about the required amount of money for you to have in your bank statement to be able to apply for your study visa and for you to be able to even get it. Then next, I'm going to talk about like the people that can sponsor your education. That is the people that you can use for your proof of funds. And we'll be talking about some of the ways, some other ways you can, get proof of funds, you can generate proof of fund. And lastly, I will talk about some of the mistakes for you to avoid in order for you to get your visa approved. So first of all, I'm going to make a disclaimer. Please, I do not work in the immigration. I don't work in, any visa office. I do not work in like, any university office. So every information that I'm going to give on this channel, please do your research as well. So the university where you are applying to, make sure you check on their site for detailed information. So I'm going to check the list to kind of like, ensure that I'm on the right track. So one may ask, what is like the required money for you to use as a proof of fund? The required amount you need to show on your bank statement as your proof of fund is 5,983.64 euros. What you need to know is they are not expecting you to have this money in euros. Wherever you're applying from, you need to have this money in your local currency. All that matters is it just needs to be equivalent of the amount stated. However, take note, the University of Bologna updated the required amounts for proof of fund for this year. For the University of Bologna, the required proof of fund, like the amounts that you need on your bank statement, should be 6,542.51 euros. That is per year. What you need to understand is Bologna is a very big city and the cost of living there is very high. From the school sites, the cost of living there is 503.27 euros a month. This compared to other cities, this is very high. So because of that, your proof of funds, the amounts that you need for your proof of funds, usually most of the time also depends on like where the school is based. You understand? Yeah, so you need to take note of that, because in other cities, your expenses for a month can be around 400 euros, up there. You need to understand that with your proof of funds, you are going to calculate like your entire expenses. Like they are saying 503 for a month, so you're going to calculate that by a year, so that you'll be able to generate that amount of money for the year. But one thing I love about Italian universities is they give like the chunk sum of amount that you need. They tell you need 6,000, you need 5,000, you need this, you need that to be in your in your account. And I think that makes it very easy for students. You don't have to now come and calculate and do this. But what I will advise you on is ensure that you have like from 2 to 5% more of the amount stated, because the cost of things are rising each and every day. So obviously if you have a bit more above that, I think it will really help you. So now let's look at some of the ways for you to show a proof of fund. One, you can be the one sponsoring yourself. So if you are the one sponsoring yourself, then that means you will need your personal bank statement. Okay, so you need to provide your personal bank statement to the embassy when you are applying for your student visa. I have a video on some of the other documents that are needed as you're applying for your student visa. I'll link it here or here. You guys can check it out. It's really going to help you. Outside of that, if you're not the one sponsoring yourself, you may ask, okay, who is the next person that qualifies to sponsor my education? The next you should know is your parents can sponsor you. That's what I'm listing is in the order that I am listing them. So please take note. If you're not in the financial capacity to sponsor yourself, your parents can sponsor your education. But you must always note that you must have documents to prove how you guys are related. So probably if it's your parents, your birth certificate, so that it will prove that they are your parents, you guys have the same surname. Yeah, you need to prove that you are related. Let me tell you, if nobody has told you, in Italy, every single document you're going to submit for your student visa is going to be cross-checked. If you submit any document for as a proof of fund, they are going to verify every single thing. Italian authorities are very strict with that. So in order to avoid any situation with the Italian authorities, please ensure that you show records of outflow and inflow of money into your personal account, or the person that you'll be using as your sponsor for your proof of funds. Okay, the next person that can sponsor you is your spouse. So yourself, your parents, and the next is your spouse. You need to obviously prove that this person is your your partner. You have to take note that all these people that are going to sponsor you, accounts that you'll be submitting need to be a personal saving account. It needs to be a personal account, not a current account, not an investment account linked with maybe business partners and all of that. No, it needs to be a personal account. The next person that can sponsor you your education is a sibling. So your siblings can also sponsor you. But what you must take note of is all the people that are sponsoring you, from your parents to your siblings, you guys must have the same surname. Then you will need to prove to the authorities how you are related to them. Unfortunately, to a greater extent, uncles, aunties, bosses, and all of that are not really permitted to be used as your sponsors for your education. There are several reasons why, but then for some reason, just if your uncle or your boss, or your boss can prove that you guys have a work relationship, obviously, but then you will need to prove that, and then you need to speak to your school's international office and find out from them if that is allowed. You need to do that. But then your uncles and all of that, you need to let that uncle of yours send the money to your personal account. The moment you realize that this is what you want to do, you want to start studying abroad, you need to ensure that you check and you start depositing money bit by bit and by bit into your personal account. That is what you're going to use for your proof of fund when you're applying for the visa. The one of the worst thing for you to do is to wait until you've gotten admission, and then just some short time to applying for your visa, and then you deposit a huge chunk of money into your account. They are going to be suspicious. And you have to remember that money needs to sit in your account for a very long time. It needs to be in your account for 28 days. What you have to understand here too is, when you submit your proof of fund, the documents and everything for your visa application, everything is going to be cross-checked, and they are going to want to understand the reason why such chunk of money was deposited in that short period of time, because they want to see that It was not just all out of the blue. You open an account and you deposited that money in your account. They are going to be suspicious, and then they might deny you. The next method for you to to get your proof of fund is for you to get a fully funded scholarship. Yes, not a regional scholarship in Italy, but then a fully funded scholarship that is from the state. There are some scholarships like that. I'm going to talk about that later, like in a different video. But then you will need a state scholarship, not a regional scholarship, because most regional scholarships open in the academic year has already started. You understand? When you're already in school, you need to have done like a year of studies to be able to have credits, because there are requirements for you to get that scholarship, sometimes based on merit and all of that, and you need to be able to meet that requirement. And while you're in your home country, you cannot meet that requirement here, so you're going to use that fully funded scholarship as your proof of fund. You're going to provide all the needed documents related to the scholarship. You're going to present it with the other documents needed during your visa application. So if you're watching and you do not have the means to sponsor yourself, or you don't have any external family to sponsor your education here in Italy, please go for this method. Apply for the fully funded scholarship in Italy and use that as a proof of fund when you are going to process your visa. So now let us talk about how you're going to show that proof of fund. So if you are the one sponsoring yourself, you need to present a personal bank statement from your bank. Okay, your bank needs to be a verified bank, because the embassy is going to get in touch with the bank to ensure that everything that is presented is accurate and correct. If it's your parent, your spouse, or your sibling that is sponsoring you, obviously you are going to ensure that you present their personal bank statement to the embassy. Use that as your proof of fund. If it is your company that is sponsoring you, obviously you need a letter of employment. You need to take that letter of employment, then you show your pay slips for for the last 6 months. You add that one up to to your letter of employment, to add to the documents you're using to apply for your study visa. Wish you guys the very best. I hope you did find value in this video. If you did, do not forget to like the video, share with others as well, and ensure that you click on the subscription button. Click on the subscribe button and join the family. I will see you guys in my next video.